love nights where it's like raining really hard and the wind is swirling around, because every once in a while, you'll just see like a crumpled corpse of an umbrella on the sidewalk. You ever see like a mangled, twisted heap of metal? The next time you see one of those, take a moment of respectful silence. Because every busted umbrella you see represents a truly shit moment in someone's life. That is a catastrophically bad day that person was having. Because that's not like a casual experience, right? Like, hey fellas, look, my umbrella turned inside out. Again. I'll just delicately place this here and go about my day. Tra-la-la-la-la. It's never that. It's usually somebody like, fuck! Fuck it, this ends now! I can't even get to a garbage can, screw it! There's a trash can roughly every 30 yards in Boston, so when you see an umbrella on the sidewalk, that is someone who simply said, no mas. I'm not a religious person, but if there is a hell, I believe it is walking through a city for eternity in a rainstorm carrying a $4 CVS umbrella. Forever and ever, amen. It's one of the nice things about being a comedian. I get to travel this great nation, bringing laughter to dozens. And sometimes when I'm traveling without my wife, I will treat myself to a meal at a fancy restaurant, because trust me, fellas, I'm worth it. A lot of people do not like eating alone at nice restaurants. I don't mind it, but I find the people around me get very uncomfortable. A few months ago, I was in Dayton, Ohio at like a 5-star restaurant, which is kind of a contradiction in terms. Let's be honest. I mean, in Ohio, all 5 stars means is you're not ordering off of your placemat. That's all that means. Oh, I don't need to move my bread plate? Oh, it's like a book. Anyway. I was trying to enjoy my meal, but there was a couple next to me on a first date, and I could tell I was bumming them out merely by my presence. You know what I mean? Like they kept looking over at me and like hushing their conversation. You know, like I'm listening to them. Of course I am. Of course I am. Of course I am. I don't have anything to do. But I don't care what they're talking about. Oh, you think Les Mis was overrated? Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I don't care. These people's lives are stupid. But what bothered me is that I was being judged. I could see it on the guy's face. He's looking at me the whole time like, look at this guy, all alone. What's his problem? So here's what I did. Feel free to steal this if you're ever in this situation. I just stared at the chair across me for like 5 minutes. And then I said, happy anniversary, Karen. Right? Right? Yeah. But I do get to travel around a lot. It has been my general experience that people from the South are nicer than people from the North. It's true. Yes, yes. To your face, provided you're white. People from the South are nice in a sort of bullshit way, you know what I mean? Like, you have a nice day. You know what I mean? Like, they don't literally give you the finger, but it's implied. It's there. If you look hard enough, it's in there something. Oh, bless your heart. Fuck you. I know what that means. Bless your heart is Southerner for kill yourself. Every once in a while, you will meet a legitimately friendly Southern person. I was driving through Georgia, and I encountered something I'd never seen before, a friendly toll booth operator. When have you ever had that? Listen, if you work at a toll booth, I don't expect you to be in a great mood, okay? No child grows up thinking, someday I'm gonna work in a fucking box. You know what I mean? Like, obviously your life went off the rails at some point. So I don't expect a how do you do. But this woman was like legitimately sweet. She called me honey. She asked me if I needed directions. That's like above and beyond the call of duty. There is no need to be a friendly toll booth operator, because nothing you say or do is gonna get you in trouble, right? Because people are in a hurry. You could drive through a toll booth and someone could literally say to you, okay, that'll be $2.50, and by the way, go fuck yourself. And I promise you, your reaction would be like, well, that was weird. But I'm gonna keep driving, you know what I mean? Like, You're not gonna take the time to like pull over like, what was her employee number? I am gonna call her supervisor. This will not stand. That'll never happen. So think about what that means. If you work at a toll booth, you've basically been given the green light to just go off on people all day with no fear of repercussions. Kind of a sweet gig when you think about it, right? Listen, there are people in my life I would like to say certain things to, such as my spouse, that I cannot get away with. And therapy is expensive, so here is my plan. I'm gonna start picking up extra shifts as a part-time toll booth operator and just work out all of my wife angst on the commuters, right? Don't even tell me that's not perfect. I know it is, okay? Imagine, you'll be driving to work, and I'll be like, okay, that'll be $250, and by the way, if I feel like staying up till 4 in the morning, that's my decision, because I'm a fucking adult. And you'll be like, oh, that was weird, and I'll feel better, right? Right? Like, I don't know if that's a win-win, technically, but I think it's a win, not lose, at least, right? Here's your change, and by the way, it's not gonna suck itself. Everybody thinks Florida is so glamorous because that's all you see on TV. It's always like CSI Miami and Dexter and Miami Vice. There's only one TV show about the rest of Florida. It's called Cops. It's actually 2 different states. I don't know if you know this. From Orlando north, Florida is just the south. Could be Alabama, could be Georgia, whatever. Orlando down, it's not a red state, it's not a blue state. It's just a place where people go when they're done. I'm done. I don't want to think anything new. I don't want to read anything new. Just drop the mojito on the table and get the fuck out of my face. You know what I mean? Like, the motto of South Florida should be, fuck it. Which is great. I think if you have lived a hard knock life somewhere else and you are looking for a place to expire, that's fine. But have you ever met someone who's born and raised in Florida? It melts their brains. I'm telling you. I performed last year at the University of Tampa. Spoiler alert, not an Ivy League institution. No. That school should have a bumper sticker that says, University of Tampa. No, seriously. Like what? What are you gonna... What is your course load at the University of Tampa? Oh, Ed Hardy t-shirt design. Building a better date rape drug. Like what is there? It's not their fault. It's too hot for higher education. You can't study when your balls are stuck to your leg. It's impossible. Science has shown this to be true. Like, oh, I think that Einstein, you can't, the synapses don't fire. You will never get an Ivy League school any place where people need to wear bathing suits 12 months a year. Because your priorities change. Do you really think Einstein would have come up with the theory of relativity if he lived in Key Biscayne? No, he'd be doing crunches all day and like worrying about his man boobs and stuff. Like, he'd still be a genius, but he'd be one of those like douchebag gym geniuses. Like, have you ever met one of those personal trainer guys who knows the name of every single muscle group? So he's smarter than you are, but in a stupid way. Aren't those people the worst? Like, fuck you for knowing shit I don't know, because you're an idiot. I know you're an idiot, and I hate that you know stuff. I like idiots that sound like idiots. If Einstein was from Florida, he'd be one of those like P90X assholes. You know what I mean? Like when you're flipping channels, like Insanity, like all those things, like, hey guys, check it out. I'm Al Einstein. This is my nutritional supplement, E equals MC squared. Because remember, energy equals muscle conditioning. The box is square. Australia, great country to visit if you're concerned that you have a drinking problem. Like, I don't know if you are aware of this. An Australian is just an Irishman who's been left out in the sun for too long. That's how they make Australians. They don't have babies like the rest of us. You take an Irish person, you just airdrop them in the desert without sunblock, and like 6 weeks, just like, oi, oi, oi. They sort of melt into Australians. It's a strange phenomenon. But it was nice to go to Australia because there's no pressure to speak a second language. I was in Western Australia where a lot of people don't even speak a first language. It's like, I don't know what weird sounds are coming out of your mouth, but I refuse to believe information is being conveyed at all. Right, mate? I don't know. Those weren't words. There was not one consonant in what you just said. This is a string of vowel sounds, you weirdo. I think Americans catch too much shit from other countries for only speaking one language. I was talking to a guy from Belgium recently, and I complimented him on how well he spoke English, and he got very snotty. He's like, well, I speak 3 languages. In Europe, we all speak multiple languages. Only in America, you speak 1 language. Dude, you know why you speak 3 languages? Because you live in Belgium and you fucking have to. That's right. I don't want to sound like an imperialist, but let's be honest here. Belgium, a very petite nation. And I say petite because I don't know the Flemish word for small, because I'm American. Everyone not laughing is like, what the hell is Flemish? I thought they spoke Belgian. Belgium is a small country. America is a big country. We should not have the same rules, right? Like, let's say you live in Belgium and you get into your car, or auto, as they probably say, right? And you just start driving. That country is so small, no matter which direction you go, within 3 hours, you're gonna be in a completely different country with its own history and culture. It's not like that here in America, right? What happens if this guy gets in his car and drives 3 hours? What's he gonna see? Fucking that dude. It's all the same. It's just cheesecake factories and sunglass huts as far as the eye can see. So stop giving us crap, world. I'm sorry we're not surrounded by other cultures. We only have 2 neighbors in America, and they're a fuck of a distance from each other, right? Like, if you live near the border of one of them, you don't know anything about the other, okay? No one who has spent his entire life in Vermont knows how to make a good pico de gallo. And no one from San Antonio knows how to shovel a driveway. That's... right? Everyone hates China now, right? They're like the new Soviet Union, like, fucking China, man. China's taking over. Come on, America, let's be honest. China wants it a bit more than we do, don't they? For all the talk about how powerful China is, would anyone in this room trade lives with someone who lives there? You wouldn't be here right now. You'd be at work. You'd be halfway through your double shift at the asbestos factory. And you'd be 9 years old. So let's keep things in perspective. Listen, I think we all know what's wrong with this country, really, when it gets right down to it. Let's all say it together. The elderly. Anybody? Is that just me? That's just me? There's just too fucking many of them. There's too many of them. All the boomers are getting old, and they're the only ones who vote. Demographically speaking, they're the only people in America who vote, the old people. Did you vote in the last election? Oh. Holy crap. The stench of mortality hovering over that junior high gymnasium when you go to perform your civic duty. Because I get very excited, like, I'm gonna participate in my democracy. And then you get there, it's like, it's just walkers with tennis balls on the bottom, sweatpants as far as the eye can see, smell of polygrip. It's depressing. Listen, none of us is immortal, okay? We all love our grandmammies and our grandpappies. But at a certain point, you gotta take the keys away, right? I am sick of my life being determined by the votes of people who, quite frankly, aren't going to be around to suffer the consequences of what they are voting for, okay? I will fix this for future generations right now. If you are a teenager, not only should you get to vote, you should get 2 votes, because you're gonna be alive that much longer to deal with the shit, right? If you're in your 20s, you should get 3 votes, because you're still young, but you're a little smarter at that point. In your 30s, 5 votes. 5. That's right. Because that is when you are at your best as a potential voter. Because when you're in your 30s, you're still young enough to have hope for the future, but you're not a fucking idiot anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're like 37, you don't say stupid young person shit like, why does there have to be war, man? Like, you get it, right? We all know how the sausage is made, right? These shoes don't come from nowhere. I accept that. A certain level of exploitation I'm comfortable with. But from age 40, it should go down again. 40 to 50, 4 votes. 50 to 60, 3 votes. 60 to 70, 2 votes. 70 to 80, 1 vote. And after 80, I'm sorry, no dice. No dice. Listen. No. We'll let you vote. We'll put your votes in the special box. Not gonna rob you of a trip out of the condo community, right? It's precious. Oh, if you're over 90, whoever you vote for should have 1 vote taken away from them. Because whatever you want is wrong. Last year, my wife and I adopted a child from Central America, which is very sweet, thank you. I'm not saying that to make it sound like I'm like a better person than you, but if that's what you take, that's fine. My wife and I adopted a 5-year-old boy from Honduras. It's going very well so far. $22 a month, childreninternational.com. I did it again, didn't I? I'm sorry, did that sound like I meant one of those like live in your house adoptions? Fuck that noise. Ew. Ew! I do not like children in the flesh. No. It's more of like a rent-to-own scenario. Like, fine, we're sponsoring a child. Happy now, sticklers? Let me tell you, if you guys are considering sponsoring a child, I highly recommend going with Children International, okay? Because you will not beat $22 a month. That's as good as it gets, okay? I Googled it, 22. That's as good as it gets. I was like, really? Christian Children's Fund? Really? $26 a month? Really? I saw the same kid at Children International for 22. I don't know what kind of scam you're running, but this is nonsense. Do you know that they make you pick the kid you want? Do you know that? Like, you go to the website, there's just hundreds of photos of children. God forbid you just donate money to charity. It's like, nope, I want that kid right there. Don't give this kid any of my shit. I want that kid. Something about his face. I don't like his face. Dibs. It's not how it works. When you give to a charity like that, you're not giving to an individual. You give to the organization, and then they build hospitals and buy school supplies. It's not like these kids show up on the first day of school, and they're like, all right, Eduardo, here's your pencil. Felipe, you should have smiled more. Can I tell you? You're not quite adorable enough to live, and it's important. Don't moan at me, fuckers. How dare you? How dare you? I'm the one giving that kid money, not you, okay? That joke is bought and paid for like 20 times over at this point. That doesn't somehow make you a good person. Like, no, I don't sponsor a child, but a comedian once made a joke and I moaned, so. Ethically, I'm covered. I'm bumming people. I don't want to bum you on. Let me tell you a little bit about my son. He is always underfoot, this kid. So I've read. I don't fucking know. But we trade letters. We're pen pals. You know, it's not just about throwing money at the problem. We're like connected. Can I be honest with you? 8 months of letters from this kid? Boring. I kind of got a dud. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like, oh, can I chip in another $2 a month for a creative writing course, right? It's like, I like playing soccer with my friends. Oh, you're blowing my mind, kid. Oh. A kid from Central America who loves soccer? Who'd have thunk it? Oh. I don't know what to say to this kid. He doesn't watch Game of Thrones.